now, a balloon launch has basically 3 stages. First you have launch. That's where you've got your payload, you've tied it to your balloon with your parachute, and like a party balloon, you just let it go. And it goes up, 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 and the atmosphere starts getting thinner and thinner. Now, who here has either gone skin diving or scuba diving, or you didn't dive deep in a pool? Okay, cool. So you know what I'm talking about. You dive deep, and the deeper you go, the more you feel the water pressure presses on you. But then as you come up, it gets lighter and lighter and lighter. Well, the atmosphere works kind of the same way. So as the balloon goes up, the air pressure gets less and less, so the balloon starts expanding a little. It gets higher, it expands, it gets higher, it expands, and eventually it gets so high and it's expanded so much, it can't expand anymore. And that's when the balloon pops. And that's when the fun begins, because that's when your payload starts coming down. And it goes downhill from there.
Wow. That's the pop.
That's the balloon after it gets popped. So, although we're a Long Island group that wants to start our own Long Island space program, much as we wanted to launch from Long Island, we really couldn't, because where we launched was pretty much dictated by where we wanted to land. Or rather, where we didn't want to land. Well, where didn't we want to land? Well, we didn't want to land any place really heavily populated, because, well, what if it lands on top of a building, or on top of a shopping mall, or a highway, or someplace restricted? Exactly. Actually, we're going to be getting that. And I don't think I have to tell you why you don't want to launch anywhere near, or want you to land anywhere near an airport. Exactly. And exactly, this is why you don't want to land anywhere near water. First of all, the electrons might get destroyed with the salt water, and then we don't have a boat, so we couldn't go out and retrieve it. Love, exactly. And by the same token, we didn't want to land any place too isolated, because we were relying on that cell phone to track our payload. If you go someplace really isolated, the cell phone won't have coverage, and it won't be able to do what we want it to do. So where did we want to end up landing? Someplace rural, away from water, but with good cell phone coverage. Sort of a place like this. I don't know if you can see from back there, but there's like a little bit of a town, city nearby, but it's mostly rural out here. No real water to worry about, so that would be a good place to land. And for us, that seemed to be an area like Western Connecticut. So we were hoping to land somewhere near Western Connecticut. So we hit some websites that did balloon launch trajectories. Yeah, there are websites that will predict your balloon's flight path. Wow. And from that, we ended up launching in a nice little town called Roscoe, New York, well known for its diner. As a matter of fact, we launched from the diner's parking lot. Just for a frame of reference, we're here, about here now. We launched there. That's about 3 hours away. Now, how we tracked our payload. Now, do any kids here have cell phones? Boy, okay, things have changed since I was a kid. All right. Now, some cell phones, yeah, I know, you've probably got one. Now, some cell phones have some software on it so that your mom can find you if you get lost. I know one type is, I think, called Instamapper, and that's the application we used. So that if you get lost, your mom can reference, or your dad, or your grandma, can reference a website and see where you are. Well, it works just as well if you put that cell phone in a balloon, as long as the balloon is within cell phone coverage. So where did our balloon land? Well, it didn't land in Western Connecticut, but it landed pretty close. A nice little town called Pauling, New York, with a really good barbecue restaurant. We visited that afterwards. That's the most important part of the flight. But wait, there's more. I'm sure you didn't come here to listen to me talk. You want to see some of the pictures that we took. Well, Ms. Coletti took some of the pictures we're going to be seeing. Our balloon took some of the pictures we're going to be seeing. And someone who couldn't make it today, John Abella, some of his pictures are going to be here. So let's go see what we got. Well, our mission started out on Sunday morning, 6 in the morning, convening at Hicksville train station. That's yours truly. There's Jonathan and a few other people there. This is where we got together and we said, all right, let's go up and let's get together and do a caravan. 3 hours later, we end up in the parking lot of the Roscoe Diner, and we're filling up our balloon. I mentioned John Abella. He didn't make it today, but he was very helpful in providing a lot of photographs and in setting up our camera. Here he is setting up our payload. And here's our balloon getting ready to launch. And like we saw before, near the front, there's the actual balloon that's providing lift. There's the parachute already deployed, so we don't have to worry about popping it. It's already open. And there's our payload, ready to go. And 3, 2, 1, balloon away. That's about, I don't know, it's about 5–10 seconds into the flight, not very far. That balloon went up pretty fast. Now, perigee is an interesting vocabulary word. Perigee means the part of a flight where you're at your lowest, or you're at the closest part to the, you're at your closest to the ground. Here, our payload is actually on the ground. So that, this is the last picture it took while it was on the ground. This is the next picture it took, about 4 seconds later. I don't know if you can tell, but those are phone lines. So it was climbing pretty quickly. And pretty soon it was taking pictures like this. Yeah, early March up in Roscoe, New York, there's still snow on the ground. And about a minute later, we were this high. Those specks over there are us. Yeah, this thing was really trucking. Now this is a number of pictures that were taken, that John Bella individual, he put them together and corrected the picture, corrected the color. This, I believe, I think it's looking south actually. Yeah, there's the Hudson River. There's Long Island. I believe that's Long Island Sound. But we got more pictures coming. Wow. That was our reaction too. We were looking at that, we're like, whoa! That is so sick, man. Now, who knows roughly how long Long Island is? I know. I mean, how many miles Long Island is long?
125.
Good. That's as accurate as I've got. This is almost all of Long Island. There's the South Fork, there's the North Fork, there's Long Island Sound. Now, understand, we launched like a little bit afternoon, and as you saw from the pictures before, it was a bright sunny day, not a cloud in the sky. Then how come at, let's say, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the sky is black? That's because we're so high, the atmosphere is that thin. We are on the edge of space at this point. Yeah, really. Oh, wow, you said it. This, I believe, is looking east. Not the sharpest picture, but we're looking east over in New England. I believe this is like Connecticut, Rhode Island. You probably have a little bit of Massachusetts up there. You're actually starting to see a little bit of curve to the Earth. Proof that, yes, the Earth is round. So your teachers didn't lie. They're telling you the truth. The Earth is round. This picture we like to call I Can See My House From Here, because you can see almost all of Long Island. From Brooklyn over to the Forks, the Hudson River, Long Island Sound. As a matter of fact, if you need a little help, that's where everything is. If you've got really sharp eyes, and I mean really sharp eyes, this little teeny tiny thread here, that's the Tappan Zee Bridge. Yeah. Now remember I used the term perigee before, meaning the lowest part of the flight closest to the ground? Well, the opposite of perigee is apogee. That's the highest part of the flight, the part where you're the farthest away from the Earth. Now you can see, this is a great shot because you can see all 5 boroughs of New York City, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, and Staten Island, Long Island Sound, Sandy Hook, New Jersey, all the way down practically to Cape May, which is the southernmost tip of New Jersey, and we're seeing that from a point upstate New York. That is just amazing. Now we know that this is apogee because this is the next picture. Pop. That's when the balloon went pop. And ended up looking like that. There was a line from an old Betty Davis movie that says, buckle your seatbelts, it's gonna be a bumpy night. Well, it's gonna be a bumpy ride all the way down.